Hello, my name is Ryan Peterson, and this week we will be looking at the rock cycle, but instead of observing rocks, we will be imitating it through using crayons and melting them, so follow along. Okay, so to start us off, we will need some aluminum foil, a butter knife, a toothpick, two different colored crayons, two paper plates, and a frying pan. So first, we're gonna take our two crayons and get rid of the paper covering them, and then use the knife to shred them up into small pieces, but make sure you don't combine them yet. And then take a piece of aluminum foil and put one part of the shavings on there, and then stack the other shavings on top of them. Try not to mix them as best as possible. You want them kind of layered. And then fold the aluminum paper over. You can see that here I've already done that it's sitting in there. And then I took this aluminum foil and brought it outside underneath my car and stuck it under the tire. I thought about just pushing it down, but then I thought, why would I do that when I could just use my car? And this way was pretty fun, and I thought it was kind of cool to watch how the tire moved here. Kind of interesting watching it bounce. So here you can see that it is being very much squished by my car. And then after a second, I turned my car off and went out and got the aluminum foil. And after inspecting this aluminum foil, we can see that we now have a sedimentary rock, and this was caused due to pressure. And we can see that it's a mix of these two rocks, but they have not combined into one. So then we take this and put it onto the stove, and then throw that on medium-low heat until it's melted. And then once we have it melted here, you can see it's pretty sweet how it's kind of mixed. I kind of messed the colors up there. You're not supposed to have them kind of mix, but they did when it moved. But then once it dried, we had our metamorphic rock. And you can see here I spilled a bit, but nothing a little paper towel action can't fix. Good as new. Yeah, so here is our metamorphic rock. So one quick interruption in this video to tell you why just melting the crayons is not a good representation of turning them into a metamorphic rock. And this is due to metamorphic rocks being made by both heat and pressure, where in this case we are only applying the heat aspect to it. Taking our metamorphic rock, we put it back onto the stove at medium-low heat, and after it's melted, we take it and put it into an ice bath. It's kind of sweet how it kind of just stays to the surface there. It didn't drip as good as I wanted it to, but still sweet. So one step I forgot to show is when you're heating it, when you're done heating it, you want to mix it up with a toothpick and then pour it into the ice bath. But I think these are pretty sweet looking, and I think they kind of look like popcorn kernels almost, or snowflakes. They were very flaky and fragile and thin, but this is our igneous rock. In our case, the sediment would be the two flakes of crayon, and then through running it over with my car, we came to a sedimentary rock. And then through heating it up on the stove, we came to a metamorphic rock. And then melting it back on the stove, it became a magma or hot wax. And then After putting it into an ice bath, it became a igneous rock. And then if we were to do this process all over again, we would take that igneous rock and scrape it down with our butter knife again through weathering and erosion, and it would be back to a sediment.